What's going on, guys? Gainz Gaming here, and today we are talking about Kingsland. We are going to be going into Kingsland here in the morning. We have about 13 hours or so until these passes open, and we enter our 2v2 Kingsland battle. This is going to be a fun one. And Zone 7, or the Pass 7 rather, has gone very well. We have basically gone just back and forth on if we want to hold the pass or if we don't want to hold the pass. But we've zeroed some cities. We've traded really well in terms of just rallies, but field presence, we have been extremely outnumbered. I will be completely honest, we have been like 1 to 4 in terms of just sheer numbers, which has just been crazy. But then vice versa, the south side over here has been the exact opposite, where our allies down here have had overwhelming numbers compared to the enemies. So it was pretty obvious that most of them came up to fight 1846. We did have some allies helping us up a little bit, but for the most part, it was 1846 against a couple of kingdoms up here, and they did very well in terms of just wiping out our murder balls because they had like 4 times as many players as us. And even though we, obviously have a lot more whales and high spenders, if you have so many more numbers that you can just 25x surround everybody, you're going to trade really well. And I'll be honest, I was trading like averaging 25% trades. And one thing to show you guys here is just how I am trading overall in the KVK. So in terms of kill points or kills based off of the T4 and T1 wounds, I'm just at under 100,000 or 100 million of these points, and healing, I'm over 104 million. Now, this did change a little bit because I did just help zero a guy that was 106 million power. I wish I was able to record it, but I was not able to. But this guy, he went from 106 million power down to basically 0. We essentially zeroed him entirely. This is the last rally that we had, and you can see he basically had no troops left. Like, getting zeroed the day before Kingsland, that really, really sucks. But we got some really good trades here because they swarmed us down too. But with those, I improved my trades quite a bit. But still, I'm trading negative this KVK so far, which is kind of insane because obviously 1846 is like the big dog kingdom in this KVK, and I'm still trading negative because we are overwhelmingly like just outnumbered in just the sheer volume of players that are in these other camps fighting us right now. So it will be interesting to see what happens in Kingsland and how we are trading there. But we're just kind of seeing what our account looks like going into Kingsland. So that way, after Kingsland, we can figure out what all we spent, what all we went through, all that kind of good stuff. So we can see in terms of resources, we have 2.4 billion food, 6.2 billion wood, 3 billion stone, and 2.6 billion gold opened right now. I don't plan on going in my bag, but if I do have to, I am obviously perfectly okay. I do still have my farm accounts that I did not even empty my bag into at all. And I do have quite a bit already opened up from just gathering on my farm accounts. But we're getting to the point where I probably won't even log into them at all tomorrow, maybe tonight before I go to bed. But tomorrow I probably won't even log into them just because I'm going to be fighting all day. So this is where I'm at with my resources. Plenty here. The only thing, again, gold is kind of the biggest worrisome because I am using full T5 just to show you guys what I've spent so far. 10.5 billion resources spent with 2.2 billion being gold. So, obviously quite a bit. I do have some deads from obviously those rallies that we did earlier today, but not a whole lot. So I'm ready to take some deads here in Kingsland, potentially help swarm some stuff, fill some rallies, fill some garrisons. It'll be a good fight. I don't know how long it's going to be, but I think it will be a very good fight. I am very excited to see what we're going to see because we don't really know what to expect here in this Kingsland, but I expect there to be a good fight, and I'll be streaming most of tomorrow. I'll be posting this tonight. I'm just gonna be, am I posting this tonight or tomorrow? I'll post this tonight. Many of you will probably see it tomorrow. I might even be streaming when you're watching this, so make sure you check my account to see if I am streaming. But it'll be interesting to see how Kingsland goes down. Let's take a look at my speed ups because that is obviously one area that people are always interested in. So speed ups, we are at 0 days of healing, and we are at 2,640 days of universals, which is insane. That is just unfathomable. I think before this KVK, I was at, I don't know, 1,800, somewhere around there. We've gained a lot of speed ups in this KVK, and I haven't really spent a whole lot. Obviously, I have, healed. I think I did the math. It was like around 23 to 25 million T5 units, because that's what I've been fighting for the entire time. Obviously, I do have some in my hospital right now. I have 712,000 T5 that are currently healing. So that is obviously having some, or not really counting toward this. So my trade is actually worse than what is being represented here, because this does not update until you collect the healed troops. And so this will obviously be a little bit different, but I think if my math is correct, it's about 22 to 25 million T5 troops that I've healed versus how many have I killed? I'm at 21.7 million kills, obviously mixed T4 and T5. Don't know the exact extent to that. I wish they did show us, but they don't, unfortunately. In terms of commanders, I'll show you guys what I am running with here. We have Gaja with Gonzalo. This has been doing fantastic. At the end of KVK, I'll be going over how many kills each commander got throughout KVK. I think tomorrow, before the fighting starts, I am going to swap out the lanes and craft a Greatest Glory, just because I think that'll be fun to do on stream before the fighting starts, and finish up this set. Although, if I do crit it, it is 1000% going on my BQ, and I will crit it with infantry, because I think that is obviously the go-to. For sure, putting it on BQ and Luce, that is a no-brainer. But that is what I'm running with for my Gaja. For my archers, this is my main archer set. I do have my second one cooking, but I'm not going to be finishing that this KVK. Potentially next KVK will be a good opportunity to do so. But that's what I'm running with for my QSH and my Zuge. And then we have my first cavalry set with Nevsky. This is probably my best cav set. You know, obviously I have the crit ring. I have the crit chess piece, which is great. And then my next cav set, still very good, but obviously not as good as the first one. And then my second infantry set does have the crit Horn of Fury on there. Don't ask me why I invested into the troop capacity, because it is not worth it. Do not do that. That was a very noob mistake of me. So don't do that. Don't make that same mistake as me. But these have been, you know, obviously trading not great this KVK so far. And so I'm hoping Kingsland will be a different story. I'll show you guys my tech here as well. I'll just buy all these out real quick. But let's take a look at tech. I am finally having to invest into cavalry march speed, which I did not want to have to do. But in order to max out special concoctions, you have to have it. So that's next on my list here. But we have everything. I'll have to do this one as well, obviously. But we have all the economic tech maxed. We have all of these maxed out. I did go for a lot of siege stats as well, just because I am running siege quite a bit. I do have my 6 March. Special concoctions 1 is maxed out. I have all of these maxed out at level 10 for 15% health. I have the infantry and archer 15% march speed. And then special concoctions is as far as I can get it. I was going to go for this, but I figured going for the 7% reduction in healing is much better than just a faster help count. I mean, obviously that can be beneficial if like you're getting rallied and you're like, holy crap, I need to heal as fast as possible. That's great, but I really don't need that. I have all these maxed out as far as I can get them. Don't really care too much about that. I don't need surprise strike, and I'm not planning on getting it. And I can't even get a 7th March until I get special concoctions, which is why I was like, I could try to finish up my next archer set, which I currently have. Do I have it in my Boudica? I don't even know where I put it, but I do have my second archer set. I'll just show you guys. Let's see, who is this on? Oh, it's on Zuge. Okay, let's take a look at that. This is my second archer set I have so far. I have the KVK helmet, KVK weapon, and then the leadership pants. So I'm not planning on finishing at this KVK, but next KVK I'll probably start running that. But just based on how this tech is laid out, getting that 7th March is really difficult, especially not doing multiple mountain warfares. It's kind of what you need in order to get that 7th March before Kingsland, or at least usable, without sacrificing a bunch of other tech. But I'm going to be prioritizing that 7% healing cost, because I think that will do me a lot more good than anything else. So I got to continue investing into this CAV march speed, unfortunately. But we do have this opening up in 13 minutes, so I'll be able to max that out and get some more crystals for the Trial of Kalkarak. So we'll be able to finish that up and get some more tech, hopefully get our healing costs reduced by 7%. Otherwise, I will have to find another way to get that down. I know that I might have to go into the crystal quest here because we do have this got reset the other day, but I do have this crystals that I can unlock if I spend some gems and do the Canyon Conqueror, because I'll finish up the barbarians and then I just need to do 15 attacks, which I get 5 for free, spend gems on the other 10. I think that's worth getting some extra crystals and potentially save 7% on healing for the entire Kingsland. I think that is a no-brainer. So that is probably going to be my plan going forward into Kingsland here, is finishing up that technology to save that that healing cost, because obviously when you're talking about 10 billion resources, 7% is quite a bit, and I'm probably going to go through 10 billion resources in Kingsland alone. I might honestly have to go through my bag a little bit, but I'll probably open up these level 2 resource packs before I open these up, just because you're going to get a good mix. However, food and gold are probably going to be the two I run out of in Kingsland, but we'll have to figure out what happens when we get there. Obviously, I'm not going to open it until I need it, but if I need it, obviously I have it accessible if I absolutely need to dip them into my bag. But I haven't had to in a long time, so I'm hoping I don't have to this KVK either. But again, I'm super excited for this Kingsland. I think this is going to be a good one. I think it'll be a lot of fun to see what all happens. I hope the fighting is long. I don't want it to be like 8 hours and done, but I also want to win KVK. So I hope the fighting lasts a good amount of time. I hope our enemies continue to fight. I hope that we win. I'm optimistic that we are going to win, but we were overwhelmed at the past 7. We were not able to push very hard, and yeah, we got some burns on their forts and we were able to protect all of our stuff pretty easily, but the numbers they had here were impressive. So I think Kingsland will be interesting to see what they're able to bring to the table, and if they're really able to push us again like they did here, it'd be really interesting to see how long it could go. But hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Make sure you stay tuned for this live stream here in the morning, and I will see you guys hopefully tomorrow, and hopefully we win this KVK. Thank you for checking out the video, and I will see you guys next time.